All right, so clearly our favorite story of the day is the Pam Anderson.
Yes. Which is saying something because today is Taco Truck Day.
Yeah, that's right. So there would be a lot more to be excited about. But Pam Anderson's op-ed that she published in the Wall Street Journal, and she's asking people to take a vow not to engage with pornography anymore. And just to briefly summarize, it's called Take the Pledge, No More Indulging in Porn. Pamela Anderson warns that pornography has a corrosive effect on a man's soul, I love that phrasing, and on his ability to function as a husband, and by extension as a father. This is a public hazard of unprecedented seriousness, given how freely available, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, Pam Anderson was on the last nude issue of Playboy last year. She's
this year.
This year, I'm sorry, you're right.
February of this year. Months ago.
She's appeared on Playboy covers more than any other model. And she kicked off the celebrity sex tape industry, if you want to call it that, in 1995 with the whole Tommy Lee thing. I feel like I have a lot to say, but I think it would be more entertaining if I just let you go.
I want to hear what you have to
just
say.
Go. Go.
There's so, I find it, first of all, it's very heteronormative. And it assumes that this is a problem within straight relationships.
Only. Which is kind of what you mean by heteronormative.
Or only relationships where a male is involved. And it also assumes that the male's role is just as a husband and father. And it makes a whole lot of assumptions about that. So saying that one thing in particular, and one thing that she has contributed to heavily.
Significantly.
Yeah, makes men incapable of completing these roles is just really problematic. You really can't say that about a human in general. Also, if she wants to start a conversation about the pervasiveness of sexual images and the accessibility of pornography, fine, that's a great conversation. As we know, naked pictures of Pam Anderson are available everywhere.
Is that right?
At all times.
I didn't know that.
They're depictions of sex and sexuality. They aren't representations of sex and sexuality. So she could have said, let's be more responsible about this. Let's have conversations about how a lot of this is airbrushed, is staged, isn't real, is presenting something that's just an image. How can it be incorporated into our everyday lives responsibly? Because if it's everywhere, then you have to learn how to consume responsibly. Instead, she's saying don't do it because you'll be a bad father. And what about that? Totally excludes the women that also watch pornography.
Right, it offends everybody.
Yeah, because multiple people of multiple backgrounds have watched porn and seen pornographic images since the dawn of time.
Sure.
And it's not a new thing, and she's a part of it.
Right.
She was most people's introduction to it. So I just don't get where this
You could argue she's corroded more male souls than just about anybody.
Than most.
Yes.
She very recently profited from
soul
pornographic
corrosion
images that she says corrode the souls of men and don't enable them to be fathers or husbands, which I also don't agree with.
Sure. I think, no, I agree with everything you're saying. I think when we did the break on the air, the one point that you made that kind of summarized all this is you said, you could use this story and jump off in so many directions that are both valid and valuable. How people end up in pornography or in the sex industry, whether they're there against their will or of their own free will, what this says to us as a society about body images, there are 100 different ways to go from this, and she picked the one place that makes no sense. And to dovetail on it, not that Pamela Anderson is not entitled to her opinion, her credibility on this front is minuscule.
Yes.
And given the context of the story, it's probably in bad taste for me to go like this, but I'm going to go like that because it's minuscule. Wrong spokesperson, wrong message, wrong time.
Agreed. And so shame-based. Let's not shame around this. Let's talk about how to move forward, how to create more positive environments.
Yeah.
Pammy.
Yeah, Pammy.
Yeah.
Get it together, Pammy. We're after you.